What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday Live, where RJ and Jerry are going to make complete fools of themselves because Missouri mandated it.
On purpose. Normally it's accidental, but this time it's on purpose.
Man, I honestly can't believe we have come to the place in wholesaling where we have a regulation in a state that the two major metro cities, St. Louis and Kansas City, are chock full of distressed properties to where we now, based off of this regulation, have to send a disclosure that we have to wait 14 days before a seller can sign a contract. Jerry, you and I were discussing this before we went live. This is only detrimental to the seller.
For sure. Because think about how many people are up against the wire, like with foreclosure. Just foreclosures alone, this is going to hurt everybody that's on a tight deadline with foreclosures.
Which, by the way, shout out to Red Panda for providing us with the Missouri leads today that we're going to be calling. Taking a look at the list of leads that we have, we do have several leads that are facing foreclosure today.
I can't wait to call those to see how, RJ, you and I and everybody watching this, we're sort of figuring this out with you guys too. We don't, because this doesn't go into effect until August 28th. So technically you can still wholesale the old way all the way until then. But we're going to act like it's October 28th on this live here. And we're going to try to have these conversations and just see where it goes.
Now, that being said, if we are on the phone with somebody that's facing foreclosure and they're going to lose their house in the middle of August, we are going to pivot and help them out. We're not going to mandate that we're not going to be able to. But my question then would be, what are we going to do post August 28th?
Yeah.
I mean, what do we do if we call someone they're going to lose their house in 2 weeks? We can only buy it, right?
Yeah, so that's a scenario. The other interesting thing, RJ, is I'm curious to see, I might try it both ways, but I'm curious to see how you tackle price and terms. If we still talk price and terms and then we say, hey, okay, we have our agreed upon deal here. Let's table this for 14 days and we'll talk again and we'll be ready for the contract. Or do you not even have a conversation around price and terms? Just get the disclosure signed. I kind of feel like you still got to talk price and terms, because what incentive do they have to even sign the dang disclosure if they don't feel like something's happening progressively, like we're not moving somewhere?
Right. And so, Jerry and I were going back and forth on this because you're only getting a signed disclosure, which, mind you, there's 7 things that have to be inside of this disclosure. Buyer is acquiring an equitable interest in the property and may not intend to purchase the property for buyer's own long-term ownership. Buyer may assign, novate, which, Jerry, you were bringing up. This is the first regulation that we've seen that it clearly states novations inside.
Yeah, it doesn't just say equitable interest. It says assignments and novations.
Right. So buyer may assign, novate, transfer, sell, or otherwise convey buyer's contractual rights and interest in the property to another purchaser or entity for a profit. Buyer may receive compensation, consideration, or profit from the assignment, transfer, novation, or other disposition of buyer's contractual rights. So again, that kind of encompasses the double close.
It does include the double close. Yeah.
I personally feel like that clearly states everything that we could possibly do. Buyer or buyer's assignee may elect not to take title to the property prior to the ultimate sale or transfer of the property. Seller acknowledges that the property may ultimately be resold for an amount greater than the purchase price agreed to between seller and buyer. Seller understands that seller may wish to obtain independent advice from an attorney, licensed real estate broker, tax advisor, or other professional before entering into contract for the sale of the property. And then the final one is seller understands that execution of this disclosure does not obligate seller to sell the property and does not constitute a purchase agreement or contract for sale. So when we look at what our options are, we are not allowed to begin marketing to end buyers without equitable interest in a signed contract. And this is clearly stating this is not equitable interest. So it is forcing us into this world of 14 days of just waiting and then getting a hold of the seller. So one call closes in Missouri are now gone. Pre-foreclosures are definitely going to be impacted by this. Speed is now no longer really something that we offer, right? We always offer speed and convenience. It's more of just convenience. This really hurts us in Missouri. Like I said, St. Louis and Kansas City. It is our second highest volume state in the history of titanium investments outside of Texas. Texas is number one. The most deals that we've ever done outside of Texas are in Missouri. And
RJ, everybody needs to keep in mind, if you don't properly disclose, then seller can cancel the contract all the way up till closing. They can keep earnest money, which may or may not be an issue for someone, and you're subject to fines and penalties if they come down on you. And this is not the real estate commission. This one is the Consumer Protection Agency with the state. So and they don't take that stuff lightly. Like I think you could get pretty serious fines and stuff.
Right.
So you can't just ignore this. In fact, here's what's crazy about this. Here's what's crazy. So I do a lot in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Tulsa's passed a bunch of regulation stuff. And I can't tell you, RJ, how many times we run into a disgruntled seller having a bad experience with a wholesaler, and that wholesaler did not properly disclose, because it's the same types of things, except there's not this 14-day waiting, but it has to be a separate document. You have to give them the actual cancellation form. You got to follow all these rules, right? Which we follow all the rules. But when another wholesaler is not following the rules and the seller says to me, I want out of this, I'm having a horrible experience, we're already past the contract close date, all these other things. The first thing I ask them is, I say, did that buyer properly disclose to you? And they're like, well, I don't know. Here's my stuff. And I look at it. I'm like, no, they didn't. And I say to them, I coach the seller, well, this is super easy for you to get out of this. Here's what you do. Now, Jerry's throwing the other wholesaler under the bus, but I'm following the rules and they're not. So who's playing fair right now? I play by the rules, which means it impacts me sometimes. Somebody else is not playing by the rules. And if we go head to head, I'm throwing them under the bus. So guess what's going to happen here? Don't think that you can skip this, because if I go on appointment in Missouri and the seller says I'm already under contract, you know what the first thing I'm going to ask is, did you get proper disclosure?
Yep. Did you have to wait 14 days before you signed that contract?
Yeah. This is a big deal.
And honestly, Jerry, this is going to get down to, did they fully wait the 14 days, right? The full 14 days.
So you can't contract until the 15th day. So like when we're doing this, RJ, we're gonna have to have the calendar out. I mean, what is that day? What is the soonest from today? The 21st of July, right?
August 5th.
August 5th would be the first day we could execute a contract from anybody we talk to today. Insane.
Yeah. It's wild. Wild, I say, Danny Force. He loves it when I say wild. I look forward to seeing how you navigate this. I'm personally going to handle the calls the exact same way. And then when I get down to, okay, we have an agreement, then I'm going to hit them with, this is what we have to do in order to close properly in the state of Missouri.
Yeah. So RJ, I'm like a bit of a, the way I think is writing or whiteboarding or whatever. So I started like scripting out, like, okay, how would this conversation go? And I think the right way that we're going to end up doing this is we're going to have to do a really good job educating a seller about what wholesaling is, because if we're going to be sending a seller a document that they have to sign and agree to, it's hard enough getting sellers to feel like when I sign something, I'm obligating myself. Now we have to pretty much help them understand, like, no, this is totally great. This is good for you. This lets you know your rights. Like, we're going to have to sort of, and then the second thing the seller's going to be thinking, in my mind, the seller's going to be thinking, well, what kind of thing is going on here where I got to sign some kind of disclosure? Like, what is it you're trying to do here? So we have to overcome all that. These are objections we're going to have to get good at handling to even do this.
Absolutely. It's going to have a significant impact. I think this is going to be very similar to what we've seen in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We saw Pennsylvania's foreclosures go up with their regulations. We've seen South Carolina's regulations come out. They're the second highest foreclosed state. I think this is going to have a significant impact on Missouri and what's going to happen with their already high population of distressed properties. And what's crazy and wild about this, Jerry, is that we do have states out there like Ohio and Oklahoma where I do think that they got it right.
Yeah.
I thought that they got it right. So let's get into it. Let's see what this first call is going to sound like.
Well, I'm not calling a tired landlord because I think maybe I could, but I think we hit these foreclosures. Do you want to try the foreclosures first?
Whatever you want. I don't care.
I'm going to try this first foreclosure, number 20 on our list.
Okay.
And I mean, it does say time frame 1 to 2 months, so that hopefully there's some time there. And I guess here we go. Let's see how this goes.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
While this is ringing, RJ, there's a comment in here that says the law says the seller can cancel if not provided with disclosure. The only reason a seller would want to cancel is if we did a bad job. That's true to a certain extent. However, this is the law that you disclose. So A, you're breaking the law if you don't disclose. B, you're putting your entire business in jeopardy because the seller can cancel with your cash buyer.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto.
They can cancel, right? So then are you really going to run an operation? Maybe if it's a one-off thing, you want to take the risk, but are you really going to run an operation where you're contracting something that isn't binding? It doesn't hold any weight. And 3, you're still subject to fines and penalties if you get caught. So, right. You can rob the bank so long as you don't get caught, I guess.
Look at this, Jerry.
A sigh of relief. That's good. Okay, this is great. I'm going to try 22 because that one looks a little more urgent.
That's what it's like on the 15th day until you realize they're not answering the phone.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what kind of AI stuff Danny comes up with today.
That was Danny.
Please leave your message for Tammy Robinson.
Double dial it. What do you think about my letter of intent idea? Do you think there's anything there?
It just doesn't have any weight.
Yeah. It's basically just a summary of what you agreed on that you can sign on.
It is calendar days, right?
Yeah.
Please leave your message for Tammy Robinson.
Okay. Let's see. I honestly don't know that it matters.
Right. We call that number one.
I am. Yeah, I am.
Emergency reasons needs to sell ASAP. Those
Yeah.
are the ones I want to see how those are navigating.
I need to close now. Oh, well, you see, there's this thing.
Hello?
Yes. Hi. Is this Lee Rogers?
Yes.
Hi, Lee. My name's Jerry. Calling you about your property on County Road.
5231.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
County Road 5231.
Yeah. I understand you're looking to sell that property.
Yeah.
Great. I'd love to see if I can help you out here. Tell me what you got going on.
Well, I had a stroke and I need to move in with my son to be taken care of, and I
Wow.
just need to get rid of it.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. How are you doing? How's your health?
It's getting better.
Okay. Are you able to do all the same things you did before?
No.
Oh, that's tough. Well, it's good you got family that can help you out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a look here. Are you currently living in the property?
No, I'm saying that my son's.
Okay. But you were living there. It's vacant now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's just vacant and time to sell it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you have a price in mind you were hoping to get?
Well, I was asking at least 25.
25. Okay. And you're almost on 1 acre?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing the tax assessed value at 10,000, but let me look around a little bit. How long have you lived here?
Since 2004.
Oh, you've been there a while. Okay.
Yeah.
If we could agree on a price, how soon were you hoping to close and get funded?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okay. Like how fast? Like under 2 weeks?
That would work.
If it's over 2 weeks, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get you better for sure. What how far is this from like a major metro? I'm just trying to look up where this is at.
About a half a mile from town.
Yeah, but what's the nearest big city?
Probably St. Louis.
How far a drive is it to St. Louis? Oh, there it is. You're south of St. Louis.
Yeah.
About 2 hours, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the closest big town. How far are you to Memphis?
I don't really know.
Okay, it looks about the same distance. So
I've never been out of Missouri, so.
Yeah, so you're pretty rural here on this one. What's got you thinking 25? Why is that a good number for you?
I get 15 for it, and I was hoping to at least get 10 because of the stuff I put on there, and it wasn't developed at all, and I had the trees knocked down and the electric and everything put in.
Okay. So you bought it for 15 back in 2004?
Yes.
Okay, and you're just hoping you could sell it for 25 now.
I had to go for 20 if I had to.
You'd come down to
I'd take
20. Yeah. You come down to 20 if you could. Okay. Well, let me explain to you how this would work. Let's say that we agree on 20,000. That would be cash and it would be as is. So you could take whatever you want out of there. You could leave whatever you want. It's super easy. I cover closing costs. There's no other cost to you. So it'd be, you know, if it's 20,000 that we agree on, it'd be 20,000 in your pocket at closing, right?
Yes.
And that's what's so great about cash is it's convenient. But I got to tell you about Missouri has passed a new law that impacts investors and how investors interact with sellers like you. So I'd like to explain to you how that works so that you understand. Can I explain that to you?
Yes.
Okay. So investors like me that buy properties for cash, there's a number of different ways that we make money. I could buy it and fix it and rent it. I could buy it and fix it and sell it, flip it. The other thing I do is I work with other investors. I could partner with other investors. I bring the deal, they bring the money. That's something I do often. And then the other thing I do is I work with a lot of investors. Probably in this case, it would be St. Louis investors. And they're always looking for projects like yours, like your house. And what I would do is I would bring them the deal, and then I would basically sign over my contract, my contractual rights to them. They step in and buy it from you for 20, and then they pay me a fee. So I get paid by them.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yep.
Okay, that's called wholesaling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do that too. So we do all of those things. Now, this property, I would probably look to wholesale. So again, let's say we agreed on 20,000. I would find a buyer that would step in. They would pay the 20,000 directly to you. They would pay me a fee for bringing the deal, and then everybody's happy, right? You get paid out.
Yeah.
They get the property. I get paid a fee.
Yeah.
And so that's wholesaling. Any questions with that? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. So the main thing that you need to understand is you still get the price we agreed upon. It doesn't impact you in any way, but the state of Missouri feels that sellers really need to understand what's happening in the transaction and what all their options are. So meaning if I'm going to wholesale your property, even though you get the same price, whether I buy it or wholesale it, the state of Missouri, the Consumer Protection Agency wants you to be informed that that's what's happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So they require now, it's actually not into an effect until August 28th, but I'm just explaining to you because if you don't sell it to me and you don't close before August 28th, anybody else you talk to that's a wholesaler, which is more than likely going to be who you talk to because you're pretty rural, they're going to need to do the same thing. So what has to happen right now is I have to email you a disclosure document. And in that document, it's going to explain to you that I may wholesale the property, which is assign my contractual rights. I may do it for a profit. You have the right to talk to legal or tax or a real estate broker. It just explains that what your options are and that you are fully aware of what's happening. Okay. It doesn't obligate you. It doesn't commit you to a contract or anything. It's just a notice to you that that's what's going to happen. Okay. So are you okay if I send that to you?
That's fine.
Great. Now, once you sign that and I sign it, we both have to sign it. Once it's executed, then we have to wait a full 14 days. So not until the 15th day, which is August 5th, could you and I enter into a contract.
Okay.
And on August 5th, we could sign a contract, let's just say for 20,000. And then from there, we could go ahead and schedule a closing date, let's say 2 or 3 weeks from that date. So probably putting us, towards the third week in August, maybe the end of August is when we would actually close and you would get funded and paid out.
Okay.
So that's sort of the timeline. It's kind of makes it tough for guys like me and you who want to do stuff fast.
Yeah.
But that's the law that's coming down.
That's fine.
Does that make sense? Is there any?
Yes, that's fine.
Did I explain that well? Is there any questions you have about how that all works?
No.
So what would be great, here's what I would love to do, is let's go back and look at your property. I deviated there a second, but let's talk about your property. I'd like to verbally have a commitment on a price. And I can text a follow-up that's got price and terms just so we don't forget. But I'd like to have it sort of ready to go. That way on August 5th, when the 14 days are up, we're ready to sign a contract and we're ready to get going and move to a closing.
Okay.
And we're, that way we're not losing more time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're with me so far?
So far.
Okay, great. All right. So let's take a look back at your property again. I would love to get you as much as I possibly can. The challenge is because you're so far out, it's going to be really hard for investors to want to come out there. It's just because there's not a lot of investors in that area. They're going to be coming from probably the metro area of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And most investors that are in like St. Louis, they'll go like an hour away. When it's pushing hour and a half, 2 hours, it just gets a little harder. There's less of them that are willing to, go out that far. Yeah. So my goal would be to get you as much as I possibly can. If you were able to have a little bit of flexibility with me, we would still put a contract in place. I would do my very best to get you the highest paying buyer, but I'm not really going to know if I can get you 20 until I get some eyeballs on there. I get all my investors to take a look at it. The ones that are interested, they'll come forward, raise their hand and say, yes, they want it.
Okay.
Now, if we were going at the tax assessed value of 10, I'm really confident I could get that done and get you paid out. So I don't know if you've got any flexibility there. Like if it's really important for you to get cash as soon as possible and get paid out, and we could go to an agreement at 10, then I feel really confident at that. At 20, there's a high likelihood that I'll come back to you and say, none of my investors want to pay that high. Are you open to come down on price? That would be how that conversation would go. Now, if someone can pay the 20, then we're good to go. But I just want
stuck on 20.
What's that?
Or I'll have to keep it. I'm pretty stuck with 20, or I'll just go ahead and keep it.
If you can't get 20, you'll keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any pictures of the property you could send me?
No, not right now, but I could get you some.
Yeah. When could you get back over there for pictures?
Yeah, probably this evening.
Okay. That'd be great. So let's do this. I need to send you this disclosure so we start the clock on the 14 days. Between now and August 5th, what I think I could do is just reach out to my buyers that I've got good relationships with, and we'll just talk about it. I won't be able to commit them because we don't have a commitment yet either. But if you give me some pictures, I think I could get a fairly good idea if I can make the 20 work. That way, on August 5th, we're either moving forward with a contract or we're not, and I'm not wasting your time or holding you up or anything. Does that make sense?
I hear. Yes.
Okay. So
I'll get you some this afternoon then.
Okay, so get me outside, inside, as many as you can. Like, don't. I don't care if it's 100. The more, the better.
Okay.
And this is my cell phone. Can you save my number?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Jerry. Say my number is Jerry Cash Buyer, and I'm going to get you over this disclosure, and then send me all those pictures, and then I'll be able to really understand the numbers better when I see the condition.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, and I hope your health is good and everything goes well for you.
Thank you. And I'll get back to you this afternoon.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think?
Thought that was pretty seamless. Thought that was amazing for your first time.
She was easy. She was easy.
She was, but she was also motivated. She had all the motivating factors there. She has emergency health reasons. She needs to sell ASAP. Obviously, the property's not in great condition. Her asking price was pretty good right out of the gates. So fantastic for the first go around of trying to lay that out. Now, I had some ideas as this was happening. And you took it exactly where I wanted you to take it, which is send me the pictures now.
Yeah.
Because one of our issues when a seller does want to move fast is well, then we've got to get recon done. We've got to get our buyers out there. So in this scenario, we're able to get recon and all of our pre-marketing things done. Can we send this to our end buyers as a coming soon?
Probably without the address. Maybe. What do you think about the address? I wouldn't. Once the word gets out, I don't know that I would put an address down.
Because at any point in time, your end buyer could just reach out to them and the seller doesn't have to move forward with you.
Yeah, everyone will know that for 14 days, it's up for grabs. Well, and here's the funny thing. It's 14 days for everybody that reaches out to her if they're wholesalers, but end buyers could just call her direct because they wouldn't have to do it if they're the end buyer. They wouldn't have to do any of this.
Right.
That would be the worries. The end buyer goes around you.
What protection do we have once we do everything correct? I mean, we get the disclosure signed. I mean, there's no protection mechanism there other than there's a signed contract, and I guess it gives us, well, depending upon how Missouri handles memorandums, potentially a memorandum. I mean, you're kind of teaching sellers that they just have the right to back out of agreements.
I mean, that's what Pennsylvania did. All it did was created foul play.
Right.
The Pennsylvania law created foul play. It made it so that it incentivized backdooring wholesalers. And that's what this is doing. Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm thinking to myself, like, on our dispositions marketing, we're going to have to get a little bit more creative. Coming soon, Poplar Bluff wholesale deal. Here's the pictures. August 15th.
Maybe like cross streets.
Yeah. Or just the numbers. Yeah. Enough for a buyer to say, put me down, I'm interested, or, Right. We're going to have a showing on August 16th.
Honestly, though, RJ, I think I would be trying really hard to pre-sell, because the last thing that we're going to want to do is, after waiting 14 days, go under contract with due diligence, have to do due diligence, and then find out that now we need to renegotiate. I think I would want that entire 14 days window to be the due diligence time. I mean, you're running a risk because you don't have a contract, but then on day 15, you got your buyer ready, you're firm on price, you're ready to go.
I mean, if you're truly doing volume in Missouri, it shouldn't matter, because I don't need to blast my deal out in Missouri to be able to move it. I'm just calling up my buyers.
Right. For nationwide guys like you and me. Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're calling up our guys and we're saying, like, hey, we got a deal. Do you want to go out there? Do you want to take a look at it? Tell us the numbers. We're basically pre-dispoing it before we even can. And then once it's all locked up, it's like sign contract, send assignment. We'll close in 10 days.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to depend on people's business model. Yeah, because, like, for example, where I do a backyard market, we do this whole 5-day process. We do like an open house. We get everybody there. We do a walk. I mean, but when I do virtual, like what you and I are doing, the first one to raise their hand for 10 grand gets it. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly. All right. Well, let me take a swing at this. So you are sending her the disclosure.
Yeah.
Though, right.
Yeah. I should have confirmed the email. I got it here, but yeah. Yeah. I'll text her right now.
This Wi-Fi call will be charged as per your international plan. To continue, please hold. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Did I dial that correctly? I did not. What did I just do? I was like, why is it saying this is an international number? It's not.
Hello.
Hey, is Jeff there?
This is Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on Haygood Street. Looked like you had entered a form on my website saying that you were interested in selling that property. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Fantastic. How much were you looking to get for it?
Oh, I got 4 lots here. I got a 105 by 125 foot lots. There's 4 of them on there. And I'm sorry, I got COPD and I've been outside, so
Well, it's
I'm
okay.
breathing kind of hard. It's nothing sexual, I guarantee.
Okay.
I don't know. I was thinking about 8,000 a lot.
Okay, so 32,000 altogether.
Yeah, right at it. And there is a small structure on it. It used to be a garage, but we made it into a house. And it's got one bedroom. But if you're looking to develop, this is a prime property to do so. They got new construction going all the way around it. New homes going in.
The structure that you're talking about, is that the blue house in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said this is 4 lots altogether.
Yeah.
Is it 2 in the front, 2 in the back, or are they all 4 side by side?
Well, there's 2 on one side and 2 on the other. We bought all 4 properties when we bought it.
Right, but is it 2, like, do all 4 have road frontage?
Well, yeah, there's road exits to all of it, and then there's a driveway all the way down through the center.
Right, but those back 2 lots don't actually touch the street, right?
No, it's too big a yard, too big a lot. But if they do go to the alley,
Oh, there's an alley.
yeah, it's alley access and street access too.
Ah, I see. Okay. All right. Well, how'd you come up with 8,000 per lot?
That's what I paid for it. I'm just trying to get back what I paid.
Okay. What's got you looking to sell them?
Well, my wife is, we're getting too old to maintain it. I'm 63 and I can't tell you her age.
Understood.
But we're just getting a little too old to maintain it and, keep up with everything. We've lived here for almost 15 years.
How much land altogether is it?
It's 105 by 125. Quite a bit of land.
Is that 105 by 125 for all 4 or per?
Yeah, that's all 4.
So it's 13,000 square feet.
Right at that, yeah. And the other developer that was looking at it, he said that he could build a structure across the back. He's building them condo things, and then he could put 2 sideways.
So 3 altogether.
Yeah, he'd have 6 places with garages in them. He said. I said, well, I don't really care what you build on it. It's basically property, and that's just what we're trying to get back out of it. It's basically what we paid for property. Because when we bought it, this was just a shed, and I took out the shed door and put windows in it, and made bedroom and a bathroom, and of course a kitchen and living room, and basically all the little hut is. I call it a hut, but it is a 1 bedroom.
Are you guys currently living in there?
Yeah, we live there. Yeah, we live right here.
Where are you gonna go?
Well, not quite to a nursing home yet, but I'm not sure. But my wife is looking in on that. She picks the place, and I deal with it. You know how that goes. We've been married almost 40 years, so she's the boss, and I follow her.
Gotcha. Do you know how much is that? 600 square feet? Is that how big it is?
It's 650 square foot on the little house.
Okay.
Is what it came out to be. When we measured it out.
And it got zoned to be considered a house, right?
No, it's still considered as a non-occupied garage, but they inspected it and everything, and they said we could move into it, since, but they don't consider it a home. It's just a structure on the property.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because when I look it up, I mean, it does say that there's a 600 square foot property on there and that the lot is 13,000 square feet and that it was built in 1910.
Yeah. All of that's the old house that used to sit on it. It had a 1 bedroom house on it long time ago. There used to be 4 houses on it.
And you got rid of all those?
No, they were down when we bought the property. And the house that was on it burned. So they took it down before we bought it. But it's got water here and it's got sewer. I got water to the house here.
Right.
And I've got sewer to it. And that's basically why they let us say it, we can stay here.
What's kind of the desired timeline for you to move out?
I'd have to talk to my wife about that, but I know she's kind of in a hurry, but not overzealous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So probably over the next couple months.
Yeah, if not sooner. It's just basically when we can sell the property and find out where we're going.
What's the most important thing to you?
My wife.
Well, I appreciate that. She's trained you well with that response. With this transaction, like, what's the ideal scenario? What's the most important thing for you to take place?
Cash bundle.
They get as much money as possible.
Yeah, or all at once is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Any transaction that goes, we close through a title company. It would all be at one time. No payments or coming in waves or anything like that. We would just do a cash transaction. So you would receive all your money from the title company at once. And then obviously we provide convenience so we can close on your time frame. So whether that's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is that you guys kind of need, that's what we offer. We
Well, it might take, I see after you're talking about after you purchased, you're going to give me 30 days or something to get off the property. Is that what?
well, we would prefer to push the closing out to when you are ready to move. And then if you need like a week to move out of the property after we close, we can do that. I would rather it be like, hey, we close, say you need 60 days, then we close on like the 50th day, and then on the 60th day you move out, instead of we pay you on the 30th day and then you stay in there, because then we have to do paperwork and hold some funds back to make sure you move out. It just makes it a little bit of a easier process if we could kind of close closer.
You pay for it, we'll be out within a week.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Now, with all that being said, that $32,000 number, that does seem a little bit high for me as an investor, and so I do want to kind of talk about that a little bit. I know that that's what you paid for it, but I'm looking around the area at what some of the other lots are going for. And we've got one that is a little bit smaller than yours around the corner there. That's listed for 15,000. It's 8,500 square feet. And so I know that we have the structure on yours and the access for the 4 lots, but I do think 32,000 is a little high to me. So that's why when I was asking you what's the most important thing, obviously all the money up front or in one payment is important to you, but do you have a specific dollar amount that that you're going to need from this?
What would you be willing to pay? Tell me that, and I'll see what I.
Well, you promise you ain't going to hang up on me if I tell you a number you don't like?
No, I'll yell at you until you know, or whatever.
Probably in the $20,000 range.
I don't know, that's a lot of property for that.
When you say it's a lot of property, what do you mean by that?
This is a water yard. You have a lot of property here.
Yeah, but I'm basing it off of, similar type properties in the area. This 8,500 square foot lot that's available for 15,000. That's less than half of your asking price there. And it's only 4,500 square feet less. So that's what I'm basing it off of. I know you're kind of basing it off of what you paid and kind of the size, but I'm taking into consideration the size of the property when I'm looking at what other similar sized properties to that have been sold for.
Okay.
What did the other developer say to you that was interested in the property?
He told me 25,000.
25?
I'm being straight honest with you. He told me 25,000.
And what was your response to him?
I told him I would. He called and talked to me again today, And I told him that I would talk to my wife about it.
And he's actually a developer.
Yeah. But I really didn't like his demeanor. You know? So
What about it?
he was just more hard case than you're being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't like my jokes.
Well, I got this friend of mine named Jerry. He lives on a farm, and every time I talk to him, he tells me cow jokes, and I mean it's like,
Yeah.
what do you call a cow that's got no legs?
Supper.
Ground beef.
Ground beef, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm calling supper.
Yeah. So he told me some other ones. One of the
That's a good one.
three-legged cow is tri-tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got all the. So I'm used to laughing at the jokes, but so here's what I would tell you. It makes sense as to why he would be willing to offer you the $25,000 as a developer. Especially if he has a plan on how he can fit 3 properties on there.
Yeah,
But
he came out and taped it off and everything.
was he willing to give you a contract?
You know, I don't know. I didn't even ask for one.
Interesting. I mean, how important is that $5,000 to you?
I'd have to talk it to my wife, and I can't make a decision really without her. She's part of the deal, but
Well, before we talk to the boss, let me ask you this. You like me more than the other guy, right?
yeah, I do. You know, on the phone chat, yeah, I do.
Okay. What if we did this to where I could come in and I could kind of alleviate you guys from trying to have to figure this out, go vet all these buyers, have these conversations, and I could just kind of help you guys navigate this situation. Would that help you? Is that something that you would be comfortable if you didn't have to do all these conversations and kind of navigate talking to developers and investors and whatnot?
I don't understand what you're trying to get to.
All right. Well, you live in a state that is a little silly. Missouri just passed a law that it goes into effect on August 28th. But to go ahead and protect myself, I'm just going to go ahead and start abiding by this law. But they came after us investors. They didn't like the fact that we were going out and trying to help people like you with y'all's properties. And so they wanted us to start sending a disclosure to homeowners, letting you know what it is that we do and why we do it and how we do it, and then giving you guys 14 days to decide if you want to move forward or not. So you could seek legal advice, talk to real estate brokers, do all of that. So what I could do is I could essentially wholesale the property, your property for you. We come to an agreement, say it's $25,000. We agreed to $25,000, but before we could sign a contract, I would have to send a disclosure to you, and you and I would both have to sign it. And it's called the Missouri Wholesale Real Estate Disclosure Notice to Property Owners. Super, super fancy name. Basically what it says is that if you and I come to an agreed price, there is a chance, which is not a chance, it's 100% fact, that I'm going to go find a developer that is going to buy said property from me for a profit. Of course, I have to make profit. That's how I feed my kids.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Right. So you would sign that, and then you have 14 days to decide if you want to move forward with me or if you want to sign a contract with somebody else. Over those 14 days, I would get pictures of the property from you, get everything lined up, and then on August 5th, if you're ready to move forward with me, I would send you a contract. You would sign it. I would go out. I'm going to put this in front of all the developers that I know in the area, all of the investors, which I've been doing this for 11 years, so I know some people. We're going to put this in front of them. We're going to sell it for more than the $25,000, and then you're going to get your money in a couple of weeks whenever you guys are ready to close. Like I said, we would work on your time frame.
Okay, but your firm is 20,000.
I'm saying I would be willing, especially knowing that this buyer was willing to tell you 25,000. I'm willing to send you a contract in 14 days for 25,000. I'll match his, because if he's willing to give you 25,000, I know for a fact that I can go out and I can find somebody that would give me more than 25,000.
Well, yeah, because I had it appraised, and my appraisal was at 60,000.
How long ago was that?
Less than a month ago.
And see, if that's something that if you were to give that to me, then I could use that to go to the investors and show like, hey, look, this was appraised for 60,000, and we can absolutely try to get as much money as possible for the property. But the first thing that I have to do in order for us to proceed is send this disclosure to you saying that I've disclosed that I'm a wholesaler, and that in 14 days, we would then have the right to talk about signing a contract. It's kind of silly, to be honest with you. Basically, Missouri has made it to where I have to tell you who I am and what I do, and you have 14 days to decide if you want to move forward with me. That means you could still talk to other buyers. You could sign a contract with this developer. You could sign a contract with another buyer. It just means in the 14 days that I've disclosed to you that this is what I want to do. And on August 5th, we then decide if we want to move forward or not.
Okay. With all that being said, buddy, without doing any of that, you're willing to give me 20,000.
I'm willing to do 25.
You're willing to do 25,
Right. This way.
but only doing it that way.
Correct.
I really don't want to go through all of that.
Why not?
I have a bad heart, and I'm pretty sickly, and I really don't want to do all that.
What do you think you're going through?
If we can make a deal, and both of us be happy about it. Because I'm telling you, I didn't like the other guy at all. He didn't say none of this stuff to me. He wasn't willing to give any feed or anything like that. He just came out and measured, this is what I'll give you, and you decide.
Damn it, Jerry.
But you've been very honest with me and everything else, and I'm willing to talk to my wife about it. I mean, if she wants to go the other route, that would be her deal. But I mean,
I'd pivot, RJ. It's not August 28th.
Yeah. Can I reframe it for you? Let me reframe it to you so I can make it sound a little bit more simple for you. if I send this disclosure to you, it's one page, and you and your wife sign it today. The only thing that would happen over the next 14 days is that we would come out and we would take some measurements of the land, take some pictures. On August 5th, we're going to call you. We're going to send you a 2-page contract, and you're going to sign it. That's the only thing that you would have to do. I'm not going to, of course, you would have to communicate with the title company and give them your information and all of that so you can get paid and we could close. But there's really not a lot of things that I need you to do, and we could make this very seamless for you to get this closed over the next couple of, on y'all's time frame, whatever that looks like. If that's, you need it done in the 30, 40 days, we can do that. If you need 60 to 90, we can also do that as well. But there wouldn't have to be a whole lot, and you wouldn't have to deal with any more phone calls. You wouldn't have to deal with any more buyers. You wouldn't have to do any of that. You could just really focus on where are you and your wife going to move to, and what does that look like moving forward?
At the 25,000.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hate to say, let me call you back, but I have to talk to my wife about this because I can't make that decision on my own.
Is Alberta there?
No, she's still working.
Is she?
She won't be home till 5 or after.
Okay. Well, Jeff, why don't I do this? I've got Alberta's email as is that correct?
Yeah, that's your Gmail. Yeah.
Why don't I just go ahead and write up the disclosure and email it over to you guys? And so when Alberta gets home, if you guys got any questions, you can call me. But if not, you sign that, and then we start the clock for the 14 days.
Yeah, that would be fine. But,
Because if you sign it tonight, then on August 5th, we can sign the contract and we can move forward.
are you around here in town?
I'm not. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, my land. No, you won't be able to be here tonight.
No, sir.
Well, I guess you can if you have your own plane.
Yeah, unfortunately Missouri has blocked me from doing enough deals to be able to have my own plane. So listen, Jeff, I wish I didn't have to do this, man. I just, you know how governments are. They come up with silly rules and they think that they're doing this to protect you. But it's like you just said, I don't want to go through all that. You should have the right to say, I don't want to do this.
Well, yeah, and I'm not sure that my wife would want to. We're just old folk, and we're just from the old school. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All that extra stuff is just extra stuff to us. You know, when I bought this property, I handed him cash, and we went up, got the title signed to me and my wife, and there was nothing else to it. I paid 4 years back taxes on it that I didn't know was on it.
Exactly. And that's why I have to do some of these things, like close through the title company. And to be honest with you, Jeff, like I'm just doing what is mandated by the law. If I don't do this, I could get fined by the state of Missouri and the customer protection agencies. Like
I don't want you to do none of that. I'm not that kind of person.
It wouldn't even be you. I mean, it could be the title company that could turn me in. I mean, it could be somebody else that comes along and finds out that this is going on and I didn't disclose this correct. I mean, I'm not saying it would be you. It's just I have to protect my business and what we do in order to abide by this rule.
Business, I understand that. Business is business. I was a subcontractor for 40 years.
Right. So
I know business is business. And believe me, I filled out more contracts. And that's why I don't really want to mess with contracts, you know.
I completely understand.
I've had my fill of them. But I've always worked around here. My wife was born and raised here, you know, and it's just getting too much for us. I can't get out and do the work that it, you know, anymore. And but yeah, I guess that would be all right. I forgot your name already.
My name is RJ Bates.
RJ Bates.
Yes, sir. Well, Jeff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write up this disclosure. I'm going to email it over to Alberta at that email, and you guys take a look at it. And like I said, it doesn't hold you accountable to anything. It's literally just me saying this is what my company will do. And if you wanted to sign a contract with me on August 5th, then I can actually send you a contract. So outside of that, it's not you being held liable for anything. It won't even say a dollar amount on the disclosure at all. It just says me, you, the property, all the disclosure, basically 7 points, and then we sign. So I'll send that over to you. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, and we'll go over it together, okay?
Yeah, you're going to send it to hers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, send it to hers, and then when she gets home, she can talk to me about it.
Okay. Sounds good, Jeff. Well, I look forward to talking to you in Alberta later, okay?
Yeah, I really do. I did like your conversation and stuff, and hopefully we can do something.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Jeff. Talk to you soon, okay?
All right, we'll talk to you then.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Wow.
I tell you what, this is brutal for sellers like that.
You know what was interesting, RJ? He didn't care about any of that. He didn't care about that you're wholesaling it. He didn't care about the disclosure. He kept, every time you tried to explain it to him, he's like, yeah, but let's go back to price. Yeah, but let's go back to price. That would have been a slam dunk contract under normal terms.
I know.
He just wanted his deal done.
And I know you were like, hey, I would pivot here. And I thought about asking like, hey, should we pivot here? But
I'm glad you didn't, because it allowed us to see you continue to try to like work through this.
Right. That's what we're going to have to say. Like, Jeff, I get it. I don't want to do this either, but we have to.
Yeah, I liked how you tried to explain to him, look, there's minimal impact here. I know it sounds like there's a lot going on, but really, you know, we're going to sign a contract on August 5th, then we're going to close after that. Everything's okay. I think we got to try to find a way to like just simplify what's happening for sellers.
Right.
Because really, if the guy's in your back pocket, which that guy is, like that guy liked you, he wants to do business with you, you did such a good job on the rapport that hopefully over the next 14 days, he's not shopping you for other buyers. And it's sort of like an unofficial 14-day due diligence period is how I'm going to try to do this.
Yeah.
You know, an uncommitted 14-day inspection period.
The way I was thinking about it is I feel like 20, it was funny. Before he told me the other buyer offered him 25, I was thinking we get it for 20. We'll probably find a buyer between 25 and 30.
Yeah.
And then he tells me this buyer offered 25. The other part of me is like, could we just go to that end buyer and contact them and get them to come up and just kind of like protect the seller here and make sure that this is a real legitimate developer? Is there a plan in place? Are they going to kick the can down the road? Because a lot of times with development projects like that, it's the buyers are going to want to do a significant amount of due diligence before they close. And so I'm curious if that's what this person was offering. And when he was saying, like, I didn't like his demeanor and how he was talking to me, who knows what's going to go on there. So there was also a part of me that was like, hey, I kind of want to just interject here to see if we can also help protect this seller. I mean, even when he said it there, like, he's got heart issues, he can't really deal with this anymore. I mean, man, this is the stuff that wholesalers come in, and I would love to take those 2 seller calls. And it's hilarious that they're the first 2 seller calls that we had with this.
Yeah.
But whoever agreed to pass this bill and be like, you tell me how this helped these sellers.
Yeah. Right. Because we disclosed to them on the phone, it made 0 impact on their decision. It's not like neither one of them was like, oh, so let me get this straight. I'm going to get the same price so it doesn't impact me at all. And you're going to make money these different ways. I don't care. I care about the 20 grand or the 100 grand or whatever the number is. That's all I care about. You solving my problem. That's what they don't understand. The Consumer Protection Agency and all these lawmakers. It's like, how is it helping the seller that they know we're making money?
Right.
I mean,
I don't think anybody ever talked to a seller that's in this position that made this law. I mean, this guy's like, I don't want to do this.
What's going to be curious is when that happens. I'm going to be curious. Maybe it'll happen today. I don't know. Where when we tell them what we're doing and they go, oh, there's no way I'm okay with you making money that way. No. Wait, you're going to sell the property to somebody else and make money? Nope. I'm out.
Right.
I want to see if that happens.
I think I've only had that happen, I think, once on live, where I told the seller that I was a wholesaler, and he asked me, he said, are you a wholesaler? And I said, yes. And he said, then I don't want to do business with you.
Well, remember last week you talked to the seller where the attorney told him, get rid of these wholesalers by having a 7-day close?
7-day close. And you know what's hilarious is after that live, he never sent me the information that he said he was going to, but he sent me a text message that said, I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting hammered with phone calls right now.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if people could tell what property he owned from the live or something. I don't know.
You didn't disclose the address, though.
I don't know if we accidentally said it on the live or whatnot, but he was like, I'm getting hammered with phone calls. And he was like, there's people offering me all kinds of dollar amounts. So
yeah,
he basically wanted to turn that into a bidding war. And I was like, I'm out.
Right. See, the problem here, RJ, is, the reason why these laws come down is because of complaints to the Consumer Protection Agency. So they're getting complaints, but the complaints aren't that they're misunderstanding what's happening here. The complaint isn't that we're making money. The complaint is that the wholesaler didn't perform, lied to them, didn't close on time, ghosted them, whatever. Like they did other harmful things that have nothing to do with the mechanics of what we do, how we make money. It was how they were treated in the transaction.
Yeah. And also the fact that you don't give the consumer the option to waive this.
Yeah, that's it, guys. So I saw a comment on there. So everybody understand this. This is unwaivable. You cannot waive it.
Right.
The seller can't waive it and you can't waive it. And I saw a bunch of things on memorandums. Guys, you can't file a memorandum until after the 14 days and you have a contract. Then Missouri did not ban memorandums. Now, a bunch of other states are, so that's coming down too. But in this new law, they did not have a no memorandum rule. So once you contract after the 14 days, you could file, but that's back to normal wholesaling. You know what I mean? Like, what is that doing? That's not helping us here.
I just think it's hilarious that someone sat down and said, should we give the homeowner the right to waive this? And they're like, no, because the wholesalers would just convince them to waive it every single time. So no, we're going to take their right away from this. And he's sitting there saying, like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, or the pre-foreclosure situation. The fact that there's no mechanic in there where financial distress, a timing mechanism that would cause them to lose their property, that doesn't waive. There's no waive.
So think about that, RJ. We have a law that's designed to protect the seller, but if the seller is fully disclosed and does not want to follow that 14-day waiting period, they cannot waive it by law. The law that's supposed to protect them that they don't want because they're disclosed now or whatever, they can't.
Right.
So the law is binding a seller in a distressed situation. How is that? How would if I were a seller, I'd be so angry about that law.
Yeah.
Because it's infringing on their rights.
Hold on, I got to answer.
It's wild, right? Danny,
this is wild. To wholesale from Denmark? Absolutely. And I will also tell you, I will wildly give you a crazy payment plan to join TU just so I could drop a titanium arm on Denmark. Please join Titanium University. I will come up with the most creative payment plan for you. Because we have a little map where it has all of our members, and we ain't got nobody in Denmark. So
that'd be awesome.
Can the law be changed if we speak up? I mean, I'm sure if we get loud enough after it's passed, and I think it's probably going to be coming from people that end up losing their properties. I think it would have to be more homeowners than wholesalers. I think they absolutely. Also,
keep in mind, like I saw a comment that said this is unconstitutional. Well, maybe, but here's the thing. Now we have to follow due process to change laws. So it doesn't mean, hey, I don't like this law, I'm not going to follow it. No, you have to follow it or be subject to the repercussions. What we can do, though, is create case law. So if you want to pay for an attorney and sue the state and fight the law and have it reversed, sure. But that's the process you have to go through now. It's the law.
Right.
So, yeah, go for it. All right, I'm going to call one, RJ. Let's try number 11.
Yep, number 11 looks really good. Distressed property ASAP.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Great leads from Red Panda so far. Short notice, Missouri only, and leads right there.
We'll have to do a regular with Red Panda again.
Yeah.
Where, the point is that we're trying to make money. That
thing.
Five, 7, 3, 9.
I thought it was so funny, RJ, when you're trying to explain to him the disclosure, and he's like, yeah, but 25, right? And you're like, yeah, but hold on, I got to explain this thing to you.
Actually, he wasn't saying 25.
He was saying 20.
Because he was trying to get off the phone with me, like, I'm not going to accept your 25.
Yeah.
Or your 20. And I'm like, but I'm willing to come up to the 25.
5, 7.
Yeah, 3, you corrected him. 9, he's like for 20, and you're like 25. But my point is like, he was trying not to have the conversation about disclosure, and he just wanted to sell his property. He just wants to sell his property. That's all he wants to do.
That's all he wants to do.
He doesn't care about that. All right, so what do you think? Let's try, I'm trying to find like an urgent one. How about this one, 32?
Yep.
That look like a good one?
Yep, let's try it.
What I really want, RJ, is someone that's like, I can't wait 14 days. I mean, I don't, because that's terrible.
I know.
Hi. I'm a call assistant recording this call for the person you're trying to reach. Please say who you are and why you're calling.
Jerry Norton, calling about your property for sale on Elm Bank.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, hi, this is Jerry. How are you, Wanda?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Calling about your property there on Elm Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand you're looking to sell that property.
Yes.
Great. Love to see if I can help you out here. I'm going to pull this up right now. What's got you wanting to sell?
I no longer live there anymore. I had it for rent, but they moved out. The people ended up passing away. They were staying there.
Okay. And you don't want to put a new renter in there?
I just want to sell it, get it out of my hands.
Okay.
Because I'm not really there to, I'm not really in town for the property. I'm in another state.
That makes it hard, right?
Yeah, to watch over the property and maintain and stuff.
What were you getting?
Are you doing it all by yourself?
What's that?
I said, yeah, when you're doing everything all by yourself,
yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, it sure is. Out of state, trying to manage tenants, that's not easy. I've done that. Well, what are you hoping to get for this? If I could pay you cash, what would you want to see?
At least $5,000.
$5,000?
Yeah, just at least.
Okay. So 5,000 cash, you'd sell me this house.
Yeah, I'll show you the house.
All right. It's vacant right now, or the tenants, you said it's vacant, right?
It's vacant. They passed away.
Okay. No one's there. It's vacant. All right. What were you getting in rent?
They was paying me $800 a month.
$800 a month. What needs fixed up on this property?
The property need updated.
Yeah, I imagined it did. It looks like it needs a roof.
Yeah.
What about the inside? I mean, if there's a tenant in there, it's livable, or is it pretty rough?
The tenant gone. They ain't living in there.
No,
They
but I
passed
mean,
away.
right. But I
We
mean,
weren't messed up at first. Like they passed away last year.
oh, so it's been sitting vacant for a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the storm came last year, a tree fell on the roof.
Okay.
But they passed away like at the beginning of the year, like in January.
Yeah. Is 5,000 the best you can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got something better to offer? I mean,
Better to offer?
what
No,
do you
not
offer?
better.
What offer? Huh?
No, I mean, I was for something like this, given all the work it needs, I'd really like to be around 2,000 or 3,000.
Can I get a 4 at least? That'll be cool.
4?
Yeah, I'll take 4.
Okay, I'll come up to your 4 just to try to get this done. But okay. I gotta tell you about a new law that came into effect in Missouri for investors like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't actually go into effect until August 28th, but we're already starting to implement it because it's coming. And this is a new law for the entire state.
Mm-hmm.
And it impacts how investors transact with each other or with homeowners. In this case, you're an investor like me who, uses the property to make money. But on this deal, I would probably reach out to my network of other investors that I work with. I know a lot of cash. I know a lot of cash buyers that like properties like this in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just assign them my deal for probably a couple $1,000. And then they would step in, they would close with you directly with the 4. And then they would pay me. So you still get the 4, I get paid a little bit, and we get your deal done. Have you ever worked with a wholesaler?
No. So
Okay.
How does it go? Do y'all go look at the property first, or how does it go?
Yeah, definitely. So we just want to make sure we know what we're buying. So I just need a few days to get in there and take a look at it. But I mean, I know my numbers, and I'm fairly confident I can make 4,000 work. The thing is the law is that I now have to disclose that to you, that I'm going to wholesale your property. And we have to have a 14-day cooling off period. We cannot contract with each other for 14 days after you and I sign the disclosure. So, and the disclosure basically says, I'm going to wholesale your property. I'm going to make a profit. You have the right to talk to an attorney. You understand what's going on. It's basically just inform you of the process. But what Missouri went and did in their infinite wisdom is they made it so that we can't contract for 14 days. So the soonest that you and I could enter into a contract would be August 5th. But what I'd like to do is get through all of my due diligence and be ready to go on August 5th, meaning, you know, let me have access to the property, make sure I get my pictures, do my walkthrough, get my buyers all lined up. I'm going to be doing that with the hope that we verbally are committed on a deal here and you don't sell to somebody else because we don't have a contract. So I'm running that risk, and I'm hoping that you and I will stick to our verbal agreement. You're not binding, so you could sell it to somebody else. But what I'd like to do is try to get all that done, because normally I do that after I get a contract. And I have 5 to 10 days to do that due diligence. But in the interest of time, because I have to give you 14 days of waiting, I'd like to do it during that 14 days. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if you and I could agree to 4,000, I would love to contract that with you and make it official on August 5th. But I got to send you this disclosure right now to your email. That way it's the clock starts, right? And do you have pictures of this property?
No, I just had the front of it. I ain't going. I ain't taking no pictures of the inside.
Okay,
It's
and you're not
cleaned all out
local.
and stuff.
How do I get inside there? Like, if I can send my guy to go get pictures, how do we get inside?
Through the back. Hey. Through the back.
Through the back. Okay. Do you give me permission to go in there just to get pictures real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I would do. I would send my guy over. We'd get pictures. I would talk to my buyers. I'd get it all set up and ready to go.
Have a good day.
And then, assuming I can get that all done in the next 2 weeks, how quickly would you like to close after August 5th? Like, what if we could close a week after that?
We can.
Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. So then that's what we would do. We would, once we sign that on August 5th, we could put the 12th. We could put the 12th or maybe the 14th as a Friday. We could put like the next week as the closing date.
Okay.
Okay. And I wouldn't have any inspection because I'm going to get that all done ahead of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to stay in touch with you over the next 14 days. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to email you this. And let me just confirm that I've got the right email here. Okay, so I'm going to email this disclosure to you. I need you to sign that. Then we have that going. We're going to stay in touch over the next 14 days. I'm going to keep you informed as to what I'm doing, what I'm finding out. I'll get my pictures. I'll talk to my buyers. We'll get all that done. We'll contract on August 5th, and we'll close on August 12th.
Don't eat up in this car.
Any questions, Wanda, on that?
No. What's your name again?
Jerry, say my number because we're going to need to communicate over the next 2 weeks.
Okay, put that back there. You'll mess up my stuff. Okay. Thank you for calling, Jerry.
All right, we'll get it done. Thank you, Wanda. Okay. Dude, that's a deal. 4,000?
Dude.
What the heck? This is so dumb.
Man, that was such a laydown. And the fact that you had to go through the disclosure on that one sucked.
That one sucked.
She's like, yeah. Talking to kids and people in the background. She didn't give a shit about your whole pitch.
No. If I sent her a contract right now, she'd sign it.
Yes.
For 4,000.
That disclosure, oh, buddy, she's totally going to get her 5 or 6 over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. If she gets any more calls,
yeah,
I'm done.
She's going to be like, this dude, Jerry, he made me sign something. He said he'd give me 4. You give me more? Like, you're toast. You on those, they're so cheap, you're gonna have to buy them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, RJ, if we weren't doing this,
we have to own it? How long do we have to own it before we can resell it?
There's no wait on that.
Well, there has to be because it's covering double closes.
Oh, yeah. Well, so here's where the double close becomes an issue potentially. Again, guys, this is a gray area because they did not specifically outline double closings in the thing. But if you think about a double close, your BC contract is equitable interest, isn't it?
Hold on. Buyer may sell their rights and interest in the property to another. Buyer may receive compensation or profit from the transfer of the buyer's rights. Man, that kind of feels like it's falling under.
Well, and that's the disclosure, but in the law, when I read through the law, here's why it's a gray area. Double closings are always a gray area because your BC contract is before you own the property. So think about it, guys. When we double close with somebody and we have our buyer sign that BC contract that says we're going to sell you the property, that's equitable interest because we don't own it yet. So the only way to completely avoid equitable interest is you close without a predetermined buyer. And after you close, at any point after you close, you now contract with a new buyer.
Right. Real quick, before we move on, because everybody keeps saying this in the chat, I think you guys are missing the point in today's video. We understand that we can buy properties for $4,000. Like we know that.
Yeah.
We're doing this to showcase the new regulation, guys. This is for educational purposes. So pretend when we say 4,000, it's 400,000. Okay. Yeah. Just play pretend like you're a child. We're doing this to try to show you how we are going to have to if we want to wholesale in Missouri, we have to follow this disclosure. And so we're trying to navigate this. We've now done it 3 times. What I will say is every time we get someone to answer the lead or answer the phone, great leads from Red Panda today.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
I think I would have 2 contracts. I mean, for sure, this would be a contract. And yeah. I probably would have contracted at 20 on that, my first one, or I would have worked a little harder, maybe at 15, but I would have got a contract on that one too.
All right. You want to split test this?
With what?
You want me to call Wanda and try to close her for $3,500 and see if she'll sign a contract with me right now?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, I kind of want to see that.
I guess we've never actually done this.
I also want to see if she tells you that she's already got an offer for 4, or if she's going to honor our verbal agreement we made.
Yeah, it's kind of a split test into the psychology of a seller. Like, is she going to come forward and be like, "No, I just agreed to sell it for $4,000 to somebody"?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, is Wanda there?
Hey, it's me.
Hey, Wanda, this is RJ Bates. I was calling about your property there on Elm Bank. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website about needing to sell that property. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. How much are you looking to get for it?
It's $6,000 lease.
How much?
$6,000.
Six.
How much you guys are offering for as is home?
I don't know. I need to look it up first. 6,000. You said as is? What do you mean by as is? Like it in bad shape?
Huh?
Is it in bad shape?
You need updated. Yeah. It's not in bad shape, but the stuff in the house need updated.
Okay. Let me look this up here. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. Like, is it vacant, occupied?
I had tenants in there first, but they ended up passing away.
Inside the property?
No, they.
Oh, okay.
I was renting it out to them.
Sorry, the way that. Sorry, just the way my brain took that, it was that they passed away inside. I apologize. That's a sad situation.
Right.
$6,000. How'd you come up with $6,000?
I just came up with a number. What number you come up with?
I want to be less than 6. How fast you want to get this done?
As soon as possible. What numbers you come up with?
Why? Why you sound like you're smiling when you ask me that?
I just asked you a question. Why are you laughing?
Because you're laughing. I mean,
You gotta go through all the paperwork and all that stuff. You just give me a price.
yeah, you're like, what number you got? Less than 6. I don't know. I was thinking 3.
3. What about 4?
What about 4?
$1,000.
I know. What about it?
What about that offer?
You didn't even say nothing about my 3. You just immediately jumped to 4.
Why you think about 3? Why you say that? That's how old it is.
Because I'm RJ Bates the third. The third, I buy houses for $3,000. Which one is it? Is it the blue one or what does it look like? I can't find it on Street View. Is it green? Hello?
It's really off-white.
Off-white. He's got a Cadillac out front. Man, this picture's old on Google. Never mind. Oh, shit. She hung up on me. Bro, what if she doesn't own it?
She hung up on you?
Yeah. I started asking her things about the property. No, she owns it. Hold on. Maybe we just got disconnected. It was weird how she was laughing. It gave me weird juju.
I'm so glad to see our verbal commitment stood strong through time, through the test of time.
Yes. She said,
Hello.
you didn't like my 3 or what?
What you were saying? You just hung up.
No, you hung up. I think it was my Wi-Fi. Hold on. Let me turn it off. I got this stupid thing where now sometimes I call through Wi-Fi and it just hangs up on people. It's really bad for my job. All right. So you want 4, I want 3, so 3,500.
Oh, somebody offered me 4. No, thank you.
Who offered you 4?
Somebody else.
What was their name?
Can't disclose that.
Shit, I probably know them. Hey, your offer held up. She hung up on me.
What just happened?
She started, dude, there's something not right about this.
Yeah.
She started laughing. She said, somebody offered me 4. No, thank you. And I said, who? And she said, I can't disclose that. I said, what's their name? I probably know them. She said, can't disclose, and hung up on me.
Yeah, Wanda, that's right. You're already committed to somebody for 4.
Oh, buddy, you're so screwed over your next 14 days.
Wanda is loyal, RJ. She is committed to Jerry Norton on this deal.
Man.
Someone could offer her 5 and she would say, you know what? My word is my word. I told this guy named Jerry 4, and that's what we're doing.
Bullshit. That's why she said 6. Because what was her asking price with you was 5.
Yeah.
And mine with me, it was 6.
Yeah.
And she immediately started laughing when she said it. I feel like calling her back and offering her 4,001.
Do 4,500. See, but tell her you'll close in a week. No, seriously, because I want to see. That's what's going to happen to us.
I know. She's going to say yes. Hold on. We got to do some due diligence over here. She is the owner. Okay. Is there any back taxes, any liens?
Yeah, I'm going to comp this thing right now because I didn't even, when she said that, I'm looking at this thing, 1,200 square feet. Like, how do you go wrong at $4,000? I mean, she did say a tree fell on it, so I don't know how bad that is.
She had it listed for 20 grand a year ago
And it didn't
for
sell.
for 11 days.
Okay.
There's a property listed right across the street for 58 grand. I mean, dude, to get it for 4 grand.
Yeah. That RJ, when you get a house in St. Louis like this for 4 grand, it's the cheap factor. Some slumlord will pay 10 for it all day.
I don't know. What do you want? What do you want me to do? You want
Buy
me to try?
I think we did the objective, which was show how to disclose. Now you got to step in there and buy this thing right out from under me and show everybody how we're going to get backdoored because of this.
All right. So you want me to be the backdoor king? Got it.
Yeah. Tell her I'll send you a contract right now and we'll close in a week.
Oh, she ain't gonna answer.
Oh no.
It's literally the cheapest house.
Yeah. I'm going to text you right now. This is your conscience.
Dude. Now I'm even more mad about this damn disclosure. I do like the fact that people picked up on my joke where I said I'm the backdoor king. I have said some things today on camera that I probably shouldn't have said. Thank God no one would ever snip and post anything online of me saying something like that, right, Jerry?
Yeah.
You would never do such a thing.
No, turn it into a reel just for entertainment purposes only.
Just for entertainment, we don't do that. I am so mad. That was a deal. Like, Jerry, you should just send the contract.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
dude,
I think what I'll do is I think I should call her and be like, you know what? This doesn't actually go into effect until August 28th. Why don't we just scratch that and close in a week?
Yeah. I think you should. Yeah. I think
because we did what we were supposed to do.
Yes. We're already doing it.
But RJ, imagine today is August 28th.
I mean, if you're a new wholesaler and you don't have 4 grand, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I get it. It sucks where people are like, surely you have 4 grand, but no. I mean, if you're trying to find your way in this, I mean, 4 grand can be a lot of money. This is insane.
Dude, there's a real dog for sale for 19 that's only 790 square feet, and it looks like a teardown.
Dude, there's a lot.
I see that 59.
A lot for 4 grand.
Yeah. Look at here's a board up. Literally boards on the picture for 43. But she couldn't get 20, so that's telling me, we're under 20 on our back.
She had it listed for 11 days.
So she didn't give it time.
And it didn't say it was listed by realtors like she did FSBO on Zillow.
Yeah. Yeah, she said a tree fell on it, so maybe that's bad.
We go out there.
Who do you have that can do a drive-by for us in St. Louis, RJ?
The Hoffmans are buyers there.
Okay.
There's literally a post inside of TU that said anything in St. Louis underneath 35,000 they will buy.
And they're like good, honest people.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have to go on the honor code here, but
yeah.
That's why I'm asking, because this is going to be something you do with people only.
Yeah, well, that would be. I mean,
yeah,
you just call the Hoffmans and it's done.
Text me their info. I'm going to have them go by.
They're in the group. I don't have their. I mean, I can find their phone number.
But I can get it.
You can literally comment on their post. They did it yesterday.
Okay.
They literally, the post was anything less than $35,000 were your buyers.
Wow, they like the junk, huh?
Because I think they're doing seller finance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Probably lease options and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny, get me their number. I'll call them. All right. Well, that was fun.
I'm exhausted by this disclosure. This is the hardest. This is the hardest live I think I've ever had, and I got to sit here for 90% of it. Just the fact that we made it this complicated.
It's because you just want to go back to the good old days where, we like buy properties.
Yeah.
We like contract and do our thing.
Livable under 35. Trisha, this was being lived in. I mean, it was being rented out for $800 a month.
Yeah. It's been vacant for a year and a tree fell on it. But
dude, when I was looking at it, I didn't see the picture on Street View was from 2019. So I should be able to see where did a tree.
It had to be the back because there's no trees in the front. This is a sharp looking 2-story house, nice porch, good aesthetics, 3-bedroom, 1,200 square feet. Like this is a buy and hold guy's dream come true right here. For a whopping $12,000, this could be theirs.
I mean, if it's this big tree, we're in trouble.
Watch, we get out there, RJ, and it's like right down the middle, all the way to the front of the sidewalk.
So that reminds me of 2020. The first property that I ever contracted on the 50-50-50 was in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm like, man, I'm getting a banger of a deal. I mean, I think I contracted it for like $9,000 or something. And I'm like, this is a fantastic deal. All the comps were like 150,000 or something. And we get out there and the buyer's like, yes, I'm going to take this for like a $20,000 assignment. And gets out there and he's like, the back half of the house is missing. And a tree fell right down the middle. And they just demoed the back part of the house. And the seller never told me.
So like daylight, you're like looking at daylight.
Yeah. I mean, it was like literally cut the house in half, and then there was just the slab that was remaining. And called the seller, and the seller was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't ask me. I didn't ask you if half the house was missing. You're right, I didn't."
It's like when I send my guy out there, what do you think is going to happen when we find that out?
Right.
All right, RJ, I want to see you do another one.
All right.
And keep in mind, if it's juicy, I'll call up right after as a real buyer.
And steal it?
Yeah.
I wonder if the end buyers are excited about this or not.
RJ, you see that comment? Went from a 4-bedroom to a 2-bedroom really fast. Which one you calling? 26?
Hi, is Shannon there? Hey, Shannon, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on County Road J. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website saying that you were interested in selling. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. How much are you looking to get for it?
Well, I want at least 100,000 for it because I'm moving to New Mexico, and I've got 2 properties in New Mexico I'm looking to buy.
Oh. 2 properties? Why are you going to buy 2 in New Mexico?
Because my husband's going to use one for cattle and one for living on. And the one for living on, so I already got a house on it.
Gotcha. What part of New Mexico are you going to?
Two can carry for the house and Rita for the property.
Well, that's fun. That's a big move.
It is.
Let's see here. I'm in Missouri. Let me try to get this pulled up with all these. It's always hard when it's county roads.
Yeah.
So what's kind of your timeline there on wanting to get moved out?
My husband wants to be in two can carry before Christmas.
Well, that's plenty of time.
Yep.
Well, tell me a little bit about the property that I would be buying. What's kind of the situation going on with the property itself?
The 3-bedroom, 2-bath modular that's falling down around our ears. It's got holes in the kitchen, in the back kitchen wall. It's got ceiling in the bathrooms falling in, the ceiling in the washrooms falling in. It's got weak floors. The bathroom, the one bathroom, the half bath, has got a weak floor. The bathroom in our bedroom has got a weak floor. It's starting to break. We got to walk through the lock. There's holes in the walls. The electric needs to be replaced. It has no HVAC. Because when we moved in, the HVAC was not working, so we got rid of it and scrapped it. Personal space needs to be fixed. We moved into this place 14 years ago. There was no walls, no wiring, we put it all in. I got you several.
Okay, so it needs quite a bit of work there. Is the modular itself was built in 1992? Is that accurate?
Yes, it's a 92 model.
Okay, so outside of you guys wanting 100,000 because that's what you need to buy the two properties in New Mexico, how did you come up with 100,000?
Because on Zillow, another gentleman looked it up on Zillow, and the property which is now worth 130,000.
Okay.
If I can get 100,000 for it, I may be losing 30,000, but that's a down payment on my new 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and my property is I fully pay off my property in one step.
Okay. So you're saying that Zillow says the property's worth 130, so you're discounting it to 30,000 for the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, I'm discounting it 30,000 for 100,000 to 100,000 because the work needs to be done to it. I'm sitting in my bathroom now. It's the only quiet place in the house. There's a tarp on my ceiling because my husband sent some people that the guys that live with us, our cousins, up on the roof to fix it, and they didn't fix it right. So now my roof leaks, and it caused my roof to fall in the bathroom. I can't use my tub because it's full of sheetrock. So, I really just want to get away from this place. We're done with it. It's like, have you ever heard of the movie The Money Pit?
Oh, yes.
That's exactly what this house is to us. I mean, and we've got stuff we're taking with us, but most of the stuff that we don't want, we're not taking. Like, we're taking all my art stuff, my desks, my shelves, that kind of stuff. We're taking my cribs and cradles and swings and my high chair, my changing table, my car seat, my stroller for my doll collection. And then we're taking our clothes and my husband's TV and his PlayStation and Xbox. We're taking my brother's PlayStation, TV, and our cousin's TV and PlayStation, and then the other two, their TVs and PlayStations and whatever they've got, whatever they want to take, they're taking, but the rest we're leaving. We don't want it. We've got a kitchen table we're taking. There's a king-size bed in my bedroom that we're not taking. It's a captain's water bed. We're not taking it. Because I've got a brand new sleigh bed storage that I'm taking that my husband just bought me. So there's going to be stuff left in the house. I mean, not an over amount of stuff, because I got shelves and knickknacks and stuff that I'll be taking that were given to me from a friend of mine. And like I said, my brother-in-law, he's going to take whatever he wants out of his room, the grandfather clock, the bed, the chair, that kind of stuff, and his TV and desk and PlayStation. But other than that, we don't want to take a lot of old stuff with us. We want to start fresh when we get down there. And it's got a it had a two-car garage on the property we moved in almost 14 years ago. We turned it into a church. And then we took it and turned it back in. We turned it into a storage building. We were going to build a house and make it into a house. And we decided we drove through New Mexico in December to go to my aunt's funeral in California. And my husband fell in love with Truth and Carry and New Mexico, period. And then we came back through, and it didn't even worse. And then we went back up there in June and stayed the night in Truth and Carry. We were on our way to California to go to our granddaughter's graduation from preschool, and my husband the humidity there is much better for him because of his health. And then we went up there July 3rd for the 4th of July celebration on the next day, and we stayed for that, and they just cemented it for my husband that that's where he wants to be. And plus, he does not want to be around a bunch of people, and where we're at, our house, he won't be bothered by anybody. He's not a people person by far. So that's the main reason we want to sell and get out of here, because my husband's health depends upon it.
Okay. So a couple of things, just kind of looking around the area. And of course, you're going to know the area better than me than just some of the information that I'm looking up here online. Are there other manufactured homes in the area? Because I'm seeing a lot of properties that are not manufactured homes, but I'm not seeing very many that are manufactured.
There's one next door to us. Right next door, that's a twin to ours. And there's one on the other side of us that's a manufactured home that has been there. Well, it was there before we moved here. So, and the one that's on the other side of us, on this side of us, I'm sitting in the bathroom. Right next door to us, their manufactured home has been there for quite a while too.
Okay. So it's kind of limited in the area, and maybe that's why I'm not seeing many that have sold.
Yeah, well, I know the one next door to us is owned by England Family Investments out of Texas.
Okay.
And the neighbors, that's who they're buying it from. The one on the other side of me, they own it free and clear. They're moving in the next 5 years to Texas. Across the street, there's an animal clinic, and next door to the animal clinic is the person that owns the animal clinic. That's her house. And then there's a ranch on the other side of it, across the street, kitty corner. It's like 50 or 30 or 40 acres of horses and cattle that have been there forever. The place has been there forever, as far as I know.
Okay. And so, say I was to come in and I was to repair all the things that are wrong with the property. What do you think it would be worth once I fixed it up?
It was fixed and actually safe to live in, because right now it's not even safe to live. We just live here because we have a place to live. We paid $35,000 for it with no walls or wiring. So I'd say I think it'd be worth about $150,000 after it's been remodeled. Because once it's remodeled, it'd be beautiful. Like I said, when we moved in here, there was no walls, no wiring. We put everything in ourselves.
Okay, so 150,000. And then how much would you anticipate I would have to put into it to get it to that level?
Probably about 10,000, maybe a little more. I would say no more than 15,000. If you can get the supplies at a decent price. It all depends on the market.
Okay, so maybe I'm confused. So you said that there's a tarp over the bathroom right now. The sheetrock has fallen down, so there's a leak in the roof.
In the bathroom, we put a tarp up because it was leaking.
Right.
Because the roof on the outside, they didn't listen to my husband's brother and put on the tar paper correctly, and the rest of the supplies they have for doing it, they didn't do it correctly. So it caused it to leak. When it started leaking, we were in the front room one night and we heard a crack. I came in here and I went back out and told my husband, hey, the ceiling in the bathroom just fell. So we got a tarp and stapled it up and to keep it from leaking on us when we're in here using the bathroom, which didn't help. It still leaks, because of the weather where we're at and stuff. So that's the main issue with the bathroom, and it caused the floor to get weak. And and we can't get nobody in here to fix it properly. The guys here that live here think they know what they're doing, but they don't. Of course, you get a bunch of yahoos together. Oh, well, we can do it this way and this way, and I'll listen to this person that knows what he's talking about. Do it. I mean, it's going to have problems.
And there's also some issues in the flooring in the kitchen, right?
Actually, no. The flooring in the kitchen's fine.
Okay. So it's just that area in the bathroom?
And then in our master closet, walk-in closet, the flooring is replaced. The bathroom on the other side of the kitchen, the guest bathroom, the flooring is replaced in it as well.
And how old is the roof? Is original?
Yeah, it's original. We would have kept this place and remodeled it ourselves. We were gonna put aluminum roofing on it because we like the sound of the rain when it hits the roof. But why put all the work into the house when we're just gonna remove it,
Right. So based off of what you're telling me and just kind of my experience with doing remodels on houses, I mean, this is a 92 build, so we're talking about 30 plus years kind of wear and tear on it, and then also some fairly significant distress elements there with the roof caving in, water intrusion. I do think 15,000 is pretty light on the amount of repairs that would need to be done to the property, just based off the square footage and some of the things that you're telling me. Which gets me to my more important topic, which is the asking price of 100,000. Because if I'm going to come in and I'm going to remodel the property, do all of this work, I mean, obviously I do this to make money. So I would have to be profitable off of that. And normally I want to make the amount of profit that is taking into consideration the amount of risk and liability that I have to take on with the amount of work that needs to be done with the property. So I know that you guys have the two properties that you want to buy in New Mexico with $100,000, but I do fear that is not going to be achievable with kind of the current condition of this property. So is that $100,000 like the mandatory number that you need for this?
No, because the property with the house on it that you can carry is $85,000. She said she would take the price of it's negotiable. She says if I can get enough lump sum to pay that payment on it, then I can just make payments on it every month. Because the property, if we can just get the money, property and Greta is like $6,000. $5,900 is what they're wanting for it.
And that's the one for the horses?
And the cattle. Well, no, the horses are going to stay at my house. I'm not leaving my horses out with cattle.
Gotcha.
I'm going to keep the cattle horses at my place. That way I can, you know, take care of them and stuff, because cattle and horses are totally different. Cattle can take care of themselves, horses cannot. So, but no, it's going to be for the cattle. The property that we're looking at with the house on it for $85,000, she told me to get either a loan on it or do something like that. And so that's what, you know, I was going to use the money for, was to put a considerable down payment on the house, on the mobile home, and then you'll pay off, and then just get a hold of Reggie and just give him the whole amount of the property. So there will be no payments.
Okay.
On that.
In regards to you saying that you think it would be worth 150 fixed up, what kind of led you to that assumption there? Because I'm trying to find something in the area that's a mobile home that sold for close to that. What is there something that you kind of know that maybe I don't?
Well, I've been pricing new modulars in town, and I found one for $189,000. So if this one was to be redone, remodeled, everything put in it brand new to make it look like it just came out of the showroom, and with what Zillow was telling us on when the guy looked at it on Zillow and he told me it was worth, the way it sits now is $130,000. I told him the house is in bad shape. And he says that doesn't matter. He says they go with what the property and everything on it.
Who was that guy? What was he, like a realtor, or did he work with Zillow, or what was his role?
He was a guy we were trying to get a loan from, and he looked it up on. He says, "You might have to go to Zillow." I said, "No, go ahead." I didn't know the place was going to be on Zillow, and he came back and said, "You'll never guess what they want." They said this place, your place is worth the way it sits, and he told me $130,000.
I really wish he wouldn't have told you that was awful advice by him. And then let me tell you the reason why. So every property in America has a price on it on Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com. What they do there is it's an algorithm, right? I mean, it's basing it off of the neighborhood prices of properties that are selling in the area, but it doesn't take into consideration the current condition of your property. Like Zillow didn't come in and sit in your bathroom like you're sitting right now. Zillow has no idea what happened to your roof. So there's no, like, Zillow is not going to buy your property for 130. Nobody is going to be willing to do that. So your property, he can't say your property's worth 130 today. Now, what he could have said is your property sits in a neighborhood of middle to low $100,000 properties. Like if you move closer into town there, in Diamond, yeah, I mean, all those houses right there are selling for 150, 160, 180, 196. That's very common. There's even a property on the highway there, Highway J, that sold for 215, 214. But the way that it works for a buyer like myself is that we have to look at it and say, it's math, right? What could the property be worth? What do we have to put into it to achieve that value? Then we have to take our holding costs, our closing costs, and our profit, and then that's where we get to our offer. And so that's why I'm asking you these questions about, because it all starts with what do we think it can be worth? So if we think that it can be worth 150, then it's, well, what do we have to do to achieve the 150? That's why I asked you that. You said 15. I think that is pretty significantly less than what it's going to take, especially looking at some of these properties that have sold for more. Some of them are in really nice condition, like updated kitchens and bathrooms and whatnot. Are you familiar with this property that sold at 19932 Highway J?
19932 Highway J. 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 1
It is. Yeah, it's just
On the corner of Pelican and J.
it's yep, Pelican and J. That property is the one that sold for 214.
Yeah, we watched them remodel that place before they sold it.
Was it the owners or was it an investor that bought it?
And the owner sold it.
Gotcha. That one is beautiful on the inside. How long did it take them to rehab that?
It took about 3 months to remodel it.
Yeah. They did a really nice job. And that wasn't a new build. They took the existing structure and just remodeled it.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. So
Now, up the highway from us, there's 2 brand new homes that went in a couple summers ago. We watched them build. Beautiful homes. I was like, oh my God. And then up the street a little further, not much farther, I think it might be, just after that, there was a house on the other side of the road that caught fire several years ago, and they totally rebuilt that house too. And it's like almost like a barn dominium. That's just absolutely beautiful too. So, and then.
and those sold in the mid twos, right?
No, the houses that were built, the people that live in those houses had them built. It's 2 families that are related.
Okay.
They haven't built them specifically.
Gotcha.
I don't know what they charge to be built. I don't know. And I know the Haskins ranch house on the other side of Animal Clinic, they started building it when we first moved here in 2012. So, and that's a gorgeous home too. We watched them put it up. We watched them build it. So, there's a lot of beautiful homes around here.
I know you said that you guys want to be in New Mexico before December, but what about the properties that you want to buy? Are you not concerned about them selling to somebody else?
No, I've got the guy named Reggie that's got the 5 acres of land for sale. I just talked to him a little bit ago on the phone. He's sending me the paperwork on it. So when I do get the money, I can just fill out the paperwork and send it back to him down with the payment. But if I can send him the whole payment on that place, that would be amazing. It would make his day and mine.
And that's the 6,900. Is that right?
That's 5,900.
5,900. Okay.
And then the lady I talked to about the property yesterday was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home on it. She says nobody has been calling about it, only me. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be sitting there if I can come up with down payment, like a good lump sum down payment on it. Because she told me if I get the money, just make an offer on it. She said the price was negotiable because it does need some more. It needs painting. That's all it needs. Because the lady that lived there before, she was a smoker. And so the walls are kind of a dingy color. But she passed away, and then her daughter took it over, and she put it on the market to sell it. And that's when we found it on Facebook Marketplace, and my husband sent it to me, and I've talked to the lady twice about it. So.
And she said she wanted 89, but it's negotiable.
85, but it's negotiable.
Okay.
If I could come up with a big down payment on it, like say maybe half of that would be awesome because I just make payments on it every month because I can do payments on it every month.
And how much monthly payment do you think you could afford?
With mine and my husband's incomes put together and what bills we have here, I wouldn't have all the bills I have here there. I'd probably give her about $600 a month on it.
600.
That's what we paid for this place to get it paid off. We paid $600 a month on this place every month until we gave them the final payment, which was $350.
And how long did that take you?
years.
So if you, yeah, because she said the price is negotiable too, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm playing around with a mortgage calculator.
That's fine.
So if you did, say you offered her 75,000 and you did like 35,000 down and you did $572 a month for 6 years, that's how long it would take you to pay off the additional 40.
Yeah. Or my husband, knowing him, we'd probably pay more on it. It's just the way he does things. He figures if it's going to be this much, some of our bills, like our car payment, we pay like, it's only supposed to be $547. We pay $600 a month on it just to get it paid off quicker.
Right. Now, that's to get you guys those properties, but because I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to be anywhere close to that 100,000. I think I can probably get you pretty close to what you need to get these properties and get you guys out there, but based off of this situation, but it's not going to be the 100,000. Because if we're talking about this could be worth 150 fixed up, I'm gonna have to be pretty close to what you would need to go get these properties with that down payment, and I mean it would be significantly less. So that's why I'm asking you, like, the time frame. I mean, is this like something that you guys are okay with waiting till December, or is it like, hey, we want to pull the trigger and get the hell out of here and make this happen?
We want to make it happen. My husband, we've been sitting here the last 3 months calling about properties and stuff, and he always keeps coming back to this one property that has that 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile on it. We had looked at another one that was on 8.5 acres. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch home, the horse ranch, but they want $220,000 for that, and there was no way we could work out kind of money, you know.
Right.
So we looked at this other place. We went and looked at it on the day of the 4th. We went and looked at that mobile home, and it's perfect. It's already got a septic and a well, and it's got space for me to put a fence up for my horses, and there's a place for our chickens and everything, so it's perfect. And then my husband said, we get that other property, he's just going to use it for his cattle, so he can go take care of his cattle every day. And my daughter and my granddaughter can stay at the house while the guys will all take care of the cattle. So, which is fine with that. Which is perfect. That's what he wants to do. He wants to live his life out, taking care of his cattle, being with his family, and enjoying the open sky and the easy breathing and the better health. So, now my husband's not the best health. That's another reason we're wanting to move, because when we spent those few days in Tucumcari, his breathing was better. He had no blood pressure problems. He had no anxiety. He was not stressed, and it's just a better place for him.
I mean, I think I can get this done for you. I'm going to need a different perspective from you when we talk about kind of what the finances are going to look like there, because this is probably going to look more along the lines of getting you guys what you need to get those properties and allowing us to kind of do our job as real estate professionals here to get this done for you in a timely manner. Basically, the way the process would work is you and I come to an agreement on a price. Once we come to that agreement, I'm going to then send you a disclosure that outlines what I'm going to be doing. That you and I would both sign, outlining that I'm a wholesaler. You're a seller. We have 14 days to go over this disclosure. You have the right to sell the property to anybody else. You have the right to talk to real estate brokers. You have the right to talk to attorneys, seek legal advice, whatever. Once those 14 days are over, we can then enter into a contract. Once we enter in that contract, we would then open up title and we would get this closed. So I know you, like, what's the fastest that you could possibly make this transition? Because that's a huge move. I mean, what's the fastest that you guys would want this to take place?
Well, if I know it's gonna happen, I can get my family on board now and start packing what we want out of this place and putting it in the church. And that way, when we get ready to leave, we just leave everything into the truck because we have 2 pickups. We just load everything into the pickups and leave. I mean, and getting all the people down there saying, "Hey, I got this coming," you know, get the contract and stuff wrote up and stuff like that, and get it done. So.
I don't know. What do you think? 30, 60 days, 90 days?
30 days.
30 days? Okay. Altogether, if I understand this correctly, if I could get you to where you would pay cash for the land, for the cattle, and a down payment for the new house to where you're only paying $600 a month, and you guys could get out in the next 30 to 60 days, that would be an ideal situation for you.
Yes.
Well, we can do that. The price would be $41,000.
That's a little more than we paid for it. We paid $35,000 for it.
That would give you the $6,000 for the land and $35,000 down on the other property.
Okay.
And then your monthly payment to her would be $600 or $572 for 6 years.
All right, just a second. Hey, honey. I'm on the phone right now. You can give us $41,000 for this. $6,000 for the property for Reggie and a down payment for that. Hey, my husband wants to talk to you. Do you think on it? Make some calls. Everything. Make sure everything's okay.
Absolutely. Here's what I need to do. I want to send you this disclosure.
Okay.
Have you and your husband sign it, because what that disclosure does is it starts the mandatory 14-day clock that Missouri puts us on. That gives you and your husband literally 14 days to think about if you want to move forward with me or not.
Okay.
Because I can't do anything until those 14 days are over. And so we could not sign a contract until August 5th. That's a new Missouri law. You can thank your lawmakers for that. So,
Yeah.
it's wild. Well, I guess it's not going to be your lawmakers. You're going to the land of enchantment down there in New Mexico. So they ain't got no crazy ass laws like that down there. So you'll be good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this over to you guys, but you do need to sign this tonight. So then on August 5th, we can start the process if you guys want to move forward, because then that's when I would send you the contract. And then that would start the clock of getting this done in the next 30 to 40 days.
All right.
So let me make sure I've got this correct. Your email is okay. I'll get that sent over to you here shortly. And then once you guys sign it, we'll be in communication over the next 14 days. And again, at any point in time during the 14 days, if you guys say, never mind, RJ, we want to move a different direction, then that's your right. That's what this disclosure is giving you, is the right to decide what you want to do over the next 14 days.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good, Shannon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Man, Missouri gonna be fucking wild, bro.
Dude, you got her down from 100 to 40.
Yeah.
But you can't sign a contract. So now I'm going to call them and get it for 41.
100,000 to 41,000 with just a little bit of education there and finding out what she truly needs. But no, what's funny about this is though, I do think it's funny that every single seller did kind of want, except for the two that you had, but like both of mine did want time to think. And so this is kind of a point of leverage where it's like, okay, well, I'm willing to give you the time. I'm willing to give you 14 days.
Yeah.
What that looks like on the conversion 14 days from now, man, I don't know what that's going to look like.
That's the scary part is you don't have anything locked in. It's just what's going to happen. I mean, we follow a rule in wholesale real estate, time kills all deals.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is pretty brutal for that.
By the way, RJ, I texted Wanda and said, Wanda, make it 3,000 and I'll skip the disclosure and close next Friday. And she replied back and said, I will for 3,500. So
I screwed you out of $500.
So I got her at 3,500. So I sent her the contract.
So I see some of the questions about the underwriting on that deal. The cheapest property that has sold in a 3-mile radius in that entire city. There was a store, like an old convenience store that sold for $77,000. Outside of that, the cheapest anything has sold was for $106,000. So my underwriting is I will take my $41,000 contract and tell my dispo team to go do their job.
Yeah, what I like about how you did that is you really didn't have an MAO, and I really hate MAO honestly, because like when you have a team and you give your team MAO, guess what they're going to go get it for? Right. MAO, right? Maximum allowable offer. What you did is you figured out, well, what do you need to meet your needs? Great, that's my offer.
Yeah. And technically speaking, the $35,000 is negotiable on her down payment. So if my team comes back and they say the most we can actually get you is $30,000, well, shift your mindset around. Instead of putting $35,000 down, where you're only putting $25,000 down. What does that do to her monthly payment? It doesn't shift it that much. Maybe you have to do 7 years instead of 6 years. Mm-hmm. Everything here is going to be negotiable because we actually understand her needs. Mm-hmm. And so from a dispo perspective, this is what I'm going to pass on to my team. This is what we're solving. This is why they're willing to move forward with us. But I also think that that's the cheapest property in a 3-mile radius. So by a $70,000 clip.
That's a great deal. Are you gonna try to keep it in play and pre-sell it? Are you gonna pre-market that?
I think I would probably talk to my team about it, and if they're like hot to trot, this is in an area where we have quite a few buyers.
Yeah.
So if my team gets it and they're like, I'm not going to hold them back from potentially making money on this.
at least call known buyers, right? Like I don't know about blasting it, but at least call a handful of buyers that you know.
I think if they're like the seller is ready to move forward and my team is like, we've got buyers, we're not going to wait the full 14 days. I'm not going to do that to my team just because we're trying to prove this on YouTube and all that.
No, I get that.
That's their paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to
Yeah.
be like, guys, go get it under contract now. We did what we needed to do with the disclosure.
No, but assuming it's post August 28th, would you
you would absolutely reach out to known buyers.
Yeah.
Because I have no problem worrying about them trying to snake us on a deal because they know we regularly bring them deals. So they're not going to try to ruin our relationship over one. You know, we've got that in multiple places. I mean, we've got a buyer in Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but Western Virginia. I mean, dude, he regularly goes out, and if a seller needs to get a signed contract, they don't know how to work email or whatnot, he'll go out there and get it signed. He'll take our pictures for us and do all that.
Yeah, which that brings up a good point. If I were a new wholesaler in Missouri, here's what I think I would do. I would probably align myself with a couple of really active buyers, figure out their buy box, get them on board where you're going to basically bird dog for them, go get the deal, and then bring the buyer in to sign the contract, and then you and the buyer have a deal worked out.
Right. Which is hilarious because basically Missouri is now going to create it to where people are going to backdoor, essentially broker real estate. I mean, that's what
now you're broke. Now you're in a whole nother gray area of brokering when you do that.
Right. But no one's going to know it because, like you said, it can all happen internally behind closed doors.
It won't be on the HUD. It'll be a consulting fee post closing with your buyer.
Right.
In 1099. That's what's going to happen, I think.
That
in
would
Missouri.
be like if you lived in Missouri and you were my end buyer, then I go get a lead. I'm going to totally be like, Jerry, do I have the right to send you a contract for you to sign?
Yeah.
And then we agree that, hey, it's going to be a % of the deal or a flat fee. Like, hey, every deal that I bring you, you're just going to pay me 10 grand. Or whatever I build into the amount of profit that you want to make on a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what's going to end up happening here to overcome.
I mean, I'm doing that right now on that $3,500. That's that St. Louis one. So I wholesaled a house, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so in St. Louis to Philip Vincent, great guy. Got to know him through the process. Someone I like and trust now. I've only done one deal with him, but I like him. And I just texted him and I said, hey, here's the deal. I got this. I'm probably gonna sign it today. Here's the address. Seller gave me permission. Can you go by? Text me back. Yeah, no problem. I'll be by there later. I'll send you some pictures. You know, he's not gonna backdoor me.
Right.
But he'll go get eyes on it, and he buys junk like that. You know, and he's a big buyer. So Let's say he comes back and he's like, yeah, I'll take it for 10. I'll say, look, I'm gonna let you step in with the seller. You know, seller agreed to me at 4, pay me the 6 post closing. And he would be the kind of guy that'd be like, yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
so I think that's going to happen a lot here. It's just unfortunate though. I mean, cause not everybody's going to have those connections at first.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, what really stood out to me is how none of the sellers actually cared today.
None of them cared.
Not one of them cared.
They didn't even have questions. Like they weren't even like, now wait a minute, what are you doing? They didn't care.
Right.
There was no objection.
This didn't move the needle for any of them. And the other part of this is, Jerry, the only thing that maybe I would edit from what we said, and I know it says the words on the disclosure, maybe we shouldn't have said that you could go sign a contract with somebody else. Because it does kind of feel like they're signing a contract.
I like that. I like the kind of commitment. Hey, we're committed here, even though we don't have it in writing. But like maybe not emphasize you could sell it to anyone else. More like, hey, we have an agreement. We just have to follow this Missouri law process, which is we don't actually sign till day 14. But I'm going to treat it like we have a commitment here. And I want you to treat it like we have a commitment here.
Yeah. I think overall though, Hyro said because of the way you presented it, obviously Jerry and I are both very experienced at being on the phone. We're very comfortable discussing transparency and what's going to take place in a real estate transaction. But even on that right there, it's one thing where I knew it was going to be easy on the laydowns, right? Hey, I want $4,000. The first seller, I knew those were going to be easy. What was it going to be like when we needed to get a $60,000 price drop?
Yeah.
Even on that one, normally I would think that would be where the friction. It's like, so you just hit me for a $60,000 price drop, and then you want to make profit, and then you're going to make me wait 14 days. Like, this is too much. I'm out. That didn't really take place there.
Well, not only that, but what about sellers who they're more like negotiators, and they're more like, no, I really want my number, and you give them their number because it's a great deal, but now you've got 14 days for somebody else to give them a different number, a better number. And There's no loyalty with those guys, like the guys that are just heavy on price, not on solution. Because you get that, right? We get sellers that are heavy on price, not solution.
Right. I will say the type of seller avatar to me that this really negatively impacts is tired landlords. I'm just throwing it out there. Tired landlords, normally their motivation is
price,
logic, price, money. Yeah. And you're telling them like, hey, I want to be a wholesaler. I need 14 days. I could see them being like, yeah, cool. Start the clock. I'm going to sign as many of these disclosures as I possibly can over the next 14 days. And then when they all are mature, I'll come back to you guys, and I want to know which one of you guys has a buyer ready to go.
Shop them. Yeah, shop everybody. Yeah. That's what that's what I would do, RJ, if I was an investor. Yeah, I'd shop them all against each other and pick the best one. That's really interesting.
I'm going to go get as many of these disclosures. I'm going to have every wholesaler working for me. But I'm going to tell you, the deadline is August 15th. I'm going to call all of you guys, and I'm going to ask you, do you have a buyer ready to close this week? Do you have a buyer ready to close this week?
And then I would say, okay, I'll sign, no contingencies, and I want a big earnest money, so I know you're committed and you got your buyer ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's sign. Yeah. You know what?
Which one of you has a buyer ready to put $10,000 non-refundable down right now?
Because I if you had a buyer ready to go and the buyer's ready to put EMD down, I would do that.
Right.
If I was one of those wholesalers and I had a committed buyer, I would do that.
Now, how are we going to compete with that? You're not. You're toast.
Yeah, it's price. Price wins.
Tired
the one who gets the deal is the loser because he paid the most.
Right, exactly. You're going to be the wholesaler that makes the least.
So, guys, I think there's a big takeaway here, though. I was a little uncertain as to, the steps, but honestly, because I saw a question in here that was like, can you negotiate after the 14 days price? And I don't think that's the way you do this. I think the way you do it is the way RJ and I tried to do it, which is follow your normal process, try to lock in a commitment on price and terms, but then have your conversation, but then try your hardest to keep that seller in play, informally committed to you. And then hopefully that 14-day doesn't go sour on you and you can keep them on board.
Yeah,
I think that's the way we do it.
If we get signed disclosures today, then tomorrow we start the recon process. Send us the pictures. Let's get this going, because come August 5th, we want to open title. We want to get this closed quick. Just essentially kind of assuming the close.
Communication is going to be vital, like daily communication, keeping that seller feeling good about you. If you let a day or 2 or 3 go by and their phone's ringing, you're going to lose the deal.
Facts. Yeah. And I think you need to be asking that as well. Like, it's going to have to be a part of your communication. Where are you guys at? Are you guys still ready to move forward? Are you fielding other phone calls? Hey, if you are fielding other phone calls and you don't want to deal with that, you can always have them call me. right? I can always negotiate with them. I mean, communication is going to be hard, and we are going to lose deals.
Yeah.
That's going to be the heartbreaking part of it is that there's going to be times where you have a deal and you flat out lose it because of the regulation. So
now I'll say this, guys, if you're in acquisitions and you're direct to seller acquisition and you're a buyer, Missouri's a gold mine. So is Pennsylvania. So is South Carolina. Like those are places where you can do really well now because this is going to wipe out a lot of competition. Because what's going to happen here is the friction's really high in Missouri. So to be honest with you, if me and RJ have a list of 50 leads to call, Missouri just goes to the bottom of the list.
Right.
Because why deal with it if I can go anywhere else?
Yep.
So a lot of wholesalers are going to leave town in Missouri probably, which means if you're a real buyer, an end buyer there, you got a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. And again, going back to this is what happens to the homeowners. People like me and you will sit there and be like, I would rather call this seller in this other state, this other location, because of what the lawmakers and the protection, all this. It's impacting all four of the sellers that we taught today. Highly motivated, needed our help.
Well, and think about it, RJ. Let's say you and I want to buy. Well, I can't contract at a reasonable price with some time to dispo. If I'm the buyer and I'm committing to buy, it better be a smoking deal. If I'm going to put cash into the deal, it better be a great deal. So now the seller is going to be paying a whole lot less to get deals done.
Yep.
Instead of getting the highest price, because wholesaling draws out the highest price. That's what it does.
Yep. All right, everybody. First of all, before we wrap up, shout out to Red Panda. Man, they absolutely crushed it today. I will drop that so Red Panda actually has a special that they're giving away $250 if you sign up today, and I guess you have to make a deposit. But I'm dropping that in the chat right now.
Yep, I put a link in there too.
Dude, Red Panda, fantastic. This is the second time that we've called their leads. The first showing was good, but for anybody that wants to kind of understand the background of how these lives, we basically have to trigger the PPL company the day before to kind of let them know, hey, start generating the leads specifically for us that they essentially can provide us. And in any live like this, we didn't need it, but we always want to be well equipped. So we want somewhere in the 20 to 30 lead range.
Dude, we today got through how many? 7 or 8?
Yeah, we talked to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or no, 4, and we only called 8. No, we called 7. So we were 4 for 7. All 4 got sent a disclosure, 2 and 2. Red Panda, though, we basically asked them hey, in order for us to do this, is there a way that you can only provide us the Missouri leads? And they were able to put this together and provide us with 32 leads in a very short time frame, basically less than 24 hours. So shout out to the Red Panda crew, not only for providing us good leads, but also for providing these and being willing to allow us to basically not close them. Because that was the thing, was hey, we want to showcase this new regulation. But I think if anybody watched these were very high quality leads that on a normal day, man, we would have absolutely crushed this with contracts. So
yeah,
good job, Red Panda. Really appreciate you guys. Jerry, are we doing seller calls next week, or are we going to do market breakdown? I think we need to do another day of seller calls. A regular one.
Yeah, since this wasn't really that.
Yeah. I think regular day of seller calls. Maybe we can get Red Panda to come back. Or maybe we'll just rerun these Missouri leads again and actually close them. I don't know. But Good stuff, Jerry. Really appreciate you being on here. Everybody show us some love. Make sure you like today's video. Any final words there, Jerry, before we hop off?
No, I think, guys, like, this is going to be a learning process. And I think whenever like friction comes like this, or a door closes, another door opens, and it's just an opportunity for all of us to find the way to transact in Missouri. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not shying away from Missouri, and I don't think RJ is either. We're just going to figure out how to operate there the right way and how to be effective and successful. And, you know, that's just it. Successful people are just going to tweak the process, find the right way to do things, and continue to be successful.
Yeah, we've made too much money. We have too many relationships in Missouri to not continue doing business there. So this is not going to stop us by any means. So appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.